I'm Ellie.
And I'm Nora.
We are here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota.
The two cities are literally across the river from each other. And that's, of course, the Mississippi River.
It's often called the Mighty Mississippi because it travels from the northern part of the country, here in Minnesota, all the way down to the south through Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico.
The river begins its flow at about 6 cubic feet per second and ends up at about 600,000 cubic feet per second by the time it reaches New Orleans, Louisiana, traveling over 2,300 miles.
1 cubic foot equals about 7.5 gallons. Just think of how many gallons of milk that would be in your refrigerator at home. The length and the volume of the water of the Mississippi River make it one of the largest river systems in the world, impacting shipping and farming and community development along its banks.
A lot has been written about the Mississippi, and there's also been a lot of research done on the river.
And here in the Twin Cities, there is a place that studies rivers like the Mississippi and celebrates the many ways that they're important to people, society, wildlife, in fact, many of the Earth's essential natural systems.
It's called the Center for Global Environmental Education at Hamline University. Let's head over there to see what more we can learn about the mighty Mississippi.
One of the many projects at the center is a multimedia program called Waters to the Sea, which helps students explore how the Mississippi and other rivers interact with humans.
We're going to meet up with the center's assistant director and associate professor, John Shepard, to find out more about this amazing river.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the center.
Hi, John.
It's nice to meet you.
This all looks really cool.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about what goes on at the center?
Good question. So we are part of Hamline University, which is the oldest university in Minnesota. And what we really focus on is helping K-12 students and teachers and members of the general public understand humans and their relationship to nature. For example, we want people to think about and understand the fact that if it rains here in St. Paul on the university or at your house, that rainwater flows untreated into the Mississippi River. And it flows downstream in the river. 17 million people rely on that river for their drinking water. So we want people to really understand that.
Why is it so important to know about the Mississippi?
One of the important things about the Mississippi, one of the things that makes it so amazing is the size of its watershed.
What is a watershed?
Good question. So you think about a river usually as this ribbon of water, but in fact, it is much more than that. It is the entire landscape everywhere around it where waters drain into the river. And in the case of the Mississippi, it is huge. So it goes all the way from the Rocky Mountains in the west to the Appalachians in the east. All the rain that falls on that land, the snow that melts in the mountains and stuff, all that flows across the land into tributaries, the Ohio, the Tennessee, the Missouri, into the Mississippi and finds its way to the Gulf of Mexico. It is a huge watershed. So that's one of the things that makes the Mississippi extraordinary. It's also in a corridor for wildlife. I think of it kind of as the lifeblood of the planet, but it even goes deeper than that. So do you happen to know how much of your body is made up of water?
About 60%, right?
That's right. You live in the Twin Cities here. In the Twin Cities, we get our drinking water from the Mississippi River. So 60% of you is the Mississippi River. You are the Mississippi River.